What the are you doing here, little buddy? Have a rest. Just relax. Take a load off your feet.
Welcome to Antimatters. Hello everyone. Up today, a new Polyrhachis colony and a nest for them to live in. I've recently got a couple more Polyrhachis colonies. These are the ones doing well. They are Polyrhachis Bicolor, and I'm happy to say they're thriving. I also got some Polyrhachis armata, but the queen croaked. So yeah, that colony's kind of a dead end now. Let's have a look at the bicolors and their journey so far though. I've had them now for nearly 20 days, but let's rewind back to March the 5th, when I first got them. Obviously as well, I got these girls from Antimatters. So let's have a look at them. In the tube, everything is a little bit skitty at the minute. This is the first time I had a look at them when they came out of the kind of package they'd come in. So yeah, they were a little bit stressed at the time. The queen looked good though. I was happy when I saw a nice little pile of eggs and a few baby larvae in there. It's always nice to start on the right foot though. I'd got them a special setup as well to go in. A limited edition Poppeth. Turns out the Y in Y Poppeth is actually pronounced E, but so yeah, it's an Poppeth. This is the limited edition Christmas one, and I love the little Christmas tree on top. I chose this nest because I'm a big fan and I like the flexibility. It's nice having all of the ports, which you can do what you want with really. The black port on the back is basically a placeholder, but I couldn't film the Antimatters logo with what I want in there, which is one of my upright tubes. I like having a little kind of water tube upright in my setups now because it just gives me peace of mind. They shouldn't be short of water anytime soon. After the initial peak, I let the ants and the setup warm up in the incubator. A couple hours later, it was time to move the ants in. To do that, all I had to do was plug the tube in, so it was super easy. Aren't they amazing looking ants too? They're really hairy, so they've kind of got a sparkle and the odd glisten as well, coming off their longer hairs. And some beautiful spikes too. Along with their hairs and spikes, they also have an 8.5 out of 10 beard. I think they look great. Moving them in was as simple as plugging in the tube, except for the cotton wool. Any other ant and it would have been as easy as just flicking the cotton wool and they'd have fallen off. However, these are Polyrhachis and they stick, like, I'm not even going to say the word. But yeah, they're very sticky. In the end, I just had to chuck the cotton wool in, and later on when there was nothing on it, I quickly grabbed it out. That was quickly replaced with a nice bit of food. It was then I saw the aggressiveness of them. Look how angry they all look coming out of the tube. Tails underneath them, acid ready to go. That's when I spotted one of the cheeky workers shooting acid at their food, was making a mess on the floor. I think she'd got a little bit carried away with her acid and decided to shoot the side of the food bowl. This is a really effective way of taking down your food that's already been chopped up. Looks just like malt vinegar though. Maybe she was just busting because she'd been locked up in the tube for a few days. Bicolor definitely aren't short on attitude as well. Personally, I think it really adds to their character. They're hilarious when they're trying to be hard. Inside the brood tube, it was a little bit of a mangle, but you could kind of see there was a nice amount of eggs and a nice amount of small larvae. There was a couple cocoons and some large larvae too, but they'd all become tangled together. There was nothing that I could do to fix it, so I just kind of left the ants to it. Hopefully they could untangle it all. One of the cocoons looked quite damaged, and I didn't really think that one was going to make it. Only time would tell though what was going to happen with the larger brood. Super happy with my new colony, I put them into the incubator to rest with my other Poppeths. I'm not flexing my collection much here, but I am a little bit. I call it Poppeth Pentref. That's everything village in Welsh. I'm going for all the colours. I've got 4 left though at least. So let's jump forward 4 days. It was about then I decided they could deal with a little bit of filming stress. I'd been feeding them every day and they'd been doing really well, so I wasn't too worried about it at this point. Their appetite is exceptional and it is really reassuring watching them chomp down the protein. They also enjoy playing with the heads of their food. They're little weirdos. The tricky bit with filming them is when they're not startled and aggressive, they're startled and staying dead still. Their eyesight is quite good, it seems, and they can definitely see me, I think, sometimes through the acrylic. Moving into the tube, the view is great. The queen looks settled in and really happy. She's nice and chilled. It seems at least one of the cocoons has made it as well. The other one still looks a bit iffy though. The eggs and larvae are flowing nicely through the system though. Fresh eggs replace the developing ones, with some extra on top. I've heard this colony maxes out at about 500 to 5k workers. There's a lot of variety in the number, so I'm not sure how much brood a large colony will have, but they seem very capable of maintaining their current ratio of about 2.5 brood per ant right now. A favourite food has emerged too. Not too surprising, but they love fruit flies. Let's skip forward to 10 days in. So first thing when I look in, I spot this really aggressive and aggy worker. She is going berserk at all of the other workers that came nearby and she was obviously very emotional. It was then when I peeked over a little bit more and spotted the body of one of her sisters. I felt a bit sad, so I left them to grieve in peace for a bit. I believe this body is from the messed up cocoon. It looks like the worker couldn't get out. In the tube, the brood was looking great. More and more little larvae have been arriving every day. I've been keeping them just like the Polyrhachis dives, and they seem to enjoy about 28 Celsius odd at the minute. They're extremely sensitive to vibrations, a lot like Formica fusca, minus the flightiness. Like fusca, however, the sensitivity doesn't necessarily seem to cause lots of stress. They can handle it. Everything was looking brilliant though. All I had to do was keep piling in the food, and that's what I was doing. So, catching up to today, 18 days deep into my Polyrhachis Bicolor journey, there has been an additional fatality caused by some sticky sugar during the week. So I threw in a few drinkers to dilute the sugar a bit. The workers remain vigorous and active 24/7 though. They're not always behaving, however. They keep dumping their flies on their sugar water. Apart from that, they're clean and orderly, with the odd acid accident. 2 weeks and 3 days has transformed the brood. Also, a light silk layer has appeared. Inside, it's a little bit tricky to see now, but their brood is ever increasing. The initial big larvae have started spinning their cocoons. For every cocoon as well, there's at least 6 times more medium larvae ready to kind of follow in their footsteps in the next couple weeks too. If this can be maintained for a few more months, we should breeze to 100 workers, I think. As long as I can keep up the kind of near daily feeding, I'm quite confident they'll keep growing well. Sometimes I do diet my ants, but I'm not going to with this colony. I want them to grow as big as they can, as fast as they can. If you're thinking about getting some of these, I'd definitely recommend it. I'd tie them with dives, to be honest. They're a little bit more active, but they weave less. So that's the bicolor introduced anyway. This is my second try and hopefully it'll go better than the first try a few years back. My next video will also be on termites too, if everything goes well. I hope to see you there, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Until next time, thanks for watching, have a fabulous week, may your ants live long and prosper, and bye!